What's up, guys? Welcome back to Casual Gastronomy, where today we're going to be making Korean tacos.
They've been popping up all over the US lately, and I completely support it because they're super delicious and one of the few fusion foods that I can really get behind.
Unlike those obnoxious sushi burritos. But Korean tacos?
Yes!
Before you start anything else, you're going to want to start marinating your steak. The marinade for the bulgogi is pretty simple. Just combine half of a grated Asian pear, a quarter cup of good soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil, 3 cloves of minced or crushed garlic, 1 tablespoon of grated ginger, and 1 tablespoon of gochujang. Give those guys a mix and then drop in about 1.5 pounds of ribeye cut into strips. Feel free to use more or less meat if you want. Mix everything together and then let it marinate while you prepare the other elements.
Next up is the cucumber kimchi. Now this isn't really fermented in the same way that traditional kimchi is. Instead, it's more of a quick pickled spicy cucumber, and it's really easy to make. Just slice up 2 small cucumbers, mix in about a tablespoon of salt, and then set them aside while you prepare the spicy paste. For the spicy paste, combine 2 tablespoons of gochugaru, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of grated Asian pear, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1/2 teaspoon of grated ginger, and 1.5 teaspoons of fish sauce. When you're done, rinse the salt off the cucumbers, mix in the spicy paste, and then put them into a jar or Tupperware container and let those ingredients sit for about an hour or so. Next, we have a Korean version of homemade mayonnaise. This one is really quick and you'll never want to buy mayo from the store again. Just combine 1 large egg yolk at room temperature with a 1/2 teaspoon of whole grain mustard, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of lime juice, and 1/2 teaspoon of gochugaru. Then slowly stream in just short of 3/4 of a cup of neutral oil or olive oil, plus 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil while whisking continuously. If you can, have a friend stream in the oil while you whisk.
Finally, we have the most critical part of our Korean tacos, the tortilla. This is actually the easiest thing to make, and the reward for the little bit of effort that it takes to make a corn tortilla from scratch is huge. All that you have to do to make the tortillas is combine 1 3/4 of a cup of the masa harina with 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of hot tap water and let that sit for about 30 minutes to absorb the water. Then, add 1 or 2 more tablespoons of room temperature water and knead it together just until it forms a smooth dough. It should feel pretty much like Play-Doh at this point. Portion the dough out into 30-gram pieces, and I'm not going to tell anybody if you just eyeball it. Then you want to preheat a pan pretty much as high as it'll go. Cast iron is preferable, but I'm sure non-stick would work too. And you really don't need any oil in the pan. I mean, you could coat it lightly, but make sure that you wipe out any excess. Cook them for about 20 seconds on the first side, and then 45 seconds on the second side. Then store them in a container with a lid lined with a towel. This will allow them to finish cooking themselves while you finish grilling the rest. Take your bulgogi out of the fridge and let it come up to room temperature for about 30 minutes. While that's happening, preheat a non-stick skillet over medium-high heat. When it's ready, put the bulgogi in and spread it out evenly. Let it brown for about 4 minutes on the first side, making sure not to move it around too much so that it can really develop some nice color. Then, give it a stir and let it go for another 3 to 4 minutes before taking it off the heat and moving it to a bowl. Now, it's time to assemble these beauties. First, we're going down with some green cabbage, the bulgogi, and some of our cucumber kimchi. Then, we hit it with a couple slices of avocado, some pickled onions, radishes, microgreens, and a squeeze of our Korean mayo. Then, a sprinkle of sesame seeds, and that's it. That is a proper Korean taco.
So, We made Korean tacos, and now we're going to try Korean tacos. Oh, cheers.
Cheers. Oh my goodness. It's so good.
There are so many different flavors and textures going on.
The cucumbers are so yummy.
Mm-hmm. And it's not overly spicy, even though there's the spicy mayo and the spicy cucumbers. It's like just the right amount. A little sweetness from the onions, crispiness from the cabbage, but something else, I don't know. Oh, the tortilla is so good. The fresh tortillas are so worth it. You've got to try and make them at home at least once. And once you do, you'll be hooked and you will never buy them again because they're so easy to make and it's such an improvement from store-bought tortillas. So guys, go out there, try and make your own version of Korean tacos or maybe do another fusion and use the hashtag Casual Gastronomy. And we'll check it out, shoot you a comment, reblog you in our story. Is that the right word? Reblog?
Repost.
Repost. Peace out, guys.